Hello, this is a presentation from the clinical counseling team on expanding your support system. So, just some basic terminology. We want to define a common definition for a support system. You might already know what a support system is, but we just want to make sure we're all on the same page. It generally refers to a group of people or resources that we can rely on when we're struggling during a stressful time, such as this time of COVID. Specifically, what support they provide can be emotional or material, could be monetary, but it also could just be moral support. Really, it's people who uplift us and also are there to kind of hear, what we need or the emotional support that we need in difficult times. And it is good to also point out that they don't always need to be family. Oftentimes they can be, but this can include a network of neighbors, religious leaders, close friends. It doesn't just have to be exclusive to family. So, what is and what is not a support system? So, we can have people in our lives, and some of them could be part of our support system, where some of them might not be part of our support system. Big thing is that a support system is unconditional. Now, this means that they don't always need to approve of everything that we do, but it's just that we have in them moral support and encouragement and validation as well as, caring even when they don't always agree. And there's a back and forth dialogue, there's conversation, A support system's not gonna put you down. An individual party is not gonna criticize you or attack you personally. That would not be um, someone in your support system. So how can you find healthy supports? Again, big thing, look towards people who don't put you down, support your goals and your dreams. Again, not necessarily that they always, agree with you every time, but generally support you and are there for you even when you're struggling. Remind you of your strengths or your positive qualities. Oftentimes, when we're going through a difficult time, it can be hard to think of ourselves in a positive way. We kind of blinded to just only look at everything that we find wrong in ourselves, or others, and it can be hard to get out of that negative thinking. So the support system, whether it's family or other members who are supportive, it's really about you know reminding us of our goals, our directedness, and also our good qualities, because oftentimes it can be easy to point out our negative qualities, even in ourselves. So, what if you're struggling to find these people? You're saying, okay, so I've evaluated. I'm starting to realize that maybe the people around me aren't quite supportive. Take an honest look at your relationships. You don't necessarily need to cut out people entirely from your life, but what boundaries do you need to set? If you have a friend or family member who always puts you down or points out every insecurity, um, if you feel comfortable bringing that up, you can bring it up, but also you can say, I don't need to let that affect me. Now, of course, words can be hurtful, and there's no denying that. But just as much as you have people maybe who don't support you within your network, always try to balance it with people who can support you, give you a different perspective, just so it's not the only message you hear. And again, evaluate your relationship with that person. If you do feel a lack of support, and you feel like it's not intentional, but it's still impacting you, then carefully address it. Just state what was said, how it made you feel, and how they could communicate better or support you better. Oftentimes, we don't feel like we deserve to be supported because we've made a couple mistakes, or we've struggled, but that is to be human. And so Don't fail to reach out because you feel like you don't deserve it. Be kind to yourself. How do I meet these support systems? As I mentioned, they can be family, but they can come from other resources. Encouraging or positive peers who provide guidance and support, leaders in the community, whether it's mentors, people we look up to, or it could, just be someone who we really value the opinion because we see that they've made it, quote unquote, right? They were a success. So this can help you develop your group of mentors who will be there for you. And it can be family, but again, if you're not feeling supported, evaluate that a little bit and decide how best you want to address it. You know your family best. Close friends. Again, it doesn't. These are all different areas that can come from. It doesn't need to come from any one or all of these areas. It really just this is different ways that it could look. The key is whether they uplift you or they put you down, right? They don't always need to agree with you, but if they're personally putting you down, you have to set boundaries of your interactions with them, or if you feel comfortable addressing it with them. Um, because while you won't always make the right choices, you do deserve to feel supported and cared about. It's not about always agreeing with everything you do. It's about really who is there for you or who do you feel safe opening up to. What if I need to build these skills to have these people? So you're starting to recognize I don't have that support system in my life. How do I build these skills? So it's part of the reason why we're here. The clinical counseling team is here to support you and give you strategies and steps. We can practice with you in the room what you would say, what you would like to say. Also, kind of how to soften the negative things that some people say. Sometimes we know life sometimes is not easy, correct? But you can always get a hold of a teacher, staff member, or director of our clinical counseling program, c.sartiaguda, and we'd be more than happy to sit with you and go through not only what your goals are, but also how best to support you as well. This has been a presentation by the Puck Clinical Counseling Team. Thank you.